Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into my sinking funds. So there's a lot of new people on the channel that we've been chatting back and forth with, and I really have been enjoying that. And then a lot of you that are regulars to my channel and love commenting too. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I just wanted to go ahead and say that. I'm excited to get into this. I'm excited to be here with you and just kind of sharing my March sinking funds. So this is the design I have for the month of March, and I kind of did a little different just because I was using up my stickers. I haven't been buying stickers, and I usually get Sara Marie stickers for my budgeting and stuff. I'm not buying any this year, and it's been really good to use up my sticker stash and take a pause on spending money on that, especially with the new job change. So sinking funds this month are going to be very slow. I don't actually have anything scheduled for sinking funds. Let me kind of go over to my little calendar thing I have at the beginning of my planner and just show you what this looks like. So here I have each month kind of put down January to December. I do have March written here, tax preparer. I've already taken care of that. I did not have that as a sinking fund. This is where I kind of map out my sinking funds. What month do they happen in, so I can be prepared when the new month starts. But this is to remind me to write this down for next year, because this year I'm actually going to start a sinking fund for a tax preparer, because I'm going to use one again next year. And just because we have two states that the VA has not stopped taking state tax out of for Virginia. So because that's still being taken out, next year I'm going to need somebody to help me navigate that. I hate doing two different states and all the things and stuffs, and you know, it's taxes. I want the experts to deal with it, so I'm paying somebody. And my husband's like, yes, you've done our taxes for years and years and years and done great, but you know, you deserve a break. So I am so happy he thinks I deserve a break. So I have some notes here I'm going to kind of prop up so I can make sure I have all my stuff written down properly. And we're going to get into sinking funds. These are the balances I had from the month of February. What the ending balances were in February are the new beginning balances for January. My sinking funds payment I make, it's basically money I transfer into a savings account. They're for annual and quarterly expenses, so that it just sits there until it's needed. And there's usually anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 and everything in between. It goes up and down depending on what we're spending out of it. Most of these are bills, some of them are not. And I will go through each one and you can see which are which. And as far as the closeout for this, I will show this in my closeout video when I do week 5 weekly check-in, paycheck 2 closeout, and then I'll just pop over here and show you the ending balances, because I'll have all that prepared. And because nothing was coming out this month, unless something really happens, I don't think we need a separate closeout video for me to just tally these up. So anyways, that is the plan for this month. So let's get started. I have $65.32 in Amazon Prime. That's due September 13th every year. We use a lot of stuff in Amazon, so we keep funding this. I put $12 a month in there. Google Storage, I just started this sinking fund in February. We paid for an entire year for 2 terabytes of storage for my husband. This is the platform he wanted to choose. There are specific reasons why, and we're just going with it. I assumed he did all his research well. So $833 is the deposit amount and everything. This is what we're adding. I had a penny left over. I had $100 in January, and then February we took out $99.99, and that was the amount, and that left a penny, and then I added $834. Now I'm adding $834 again, or 33. So that's where that extra penny came from. Apple 365. This is Microsoft 365. It's for my MacBook Air that I have, and so every month I put in $651. So home maintenance, this one is interesting. Normally I would just put $75, but today we're going to put $67.23. Now, what I'm doing here in sinking funds is no different than a cash envelope sinking fund, stuffing and things like that. I'm just not actually physically doing anything cash-wise. I just transfer funds from my checking to my savings account, and that's how I stuff those envelopes. These are little buckets or envelopes. Same principle, just different platform. So it's the same thing. I just do it once a month at the end of the month because that's usually when I have the most disposable income available in order to fund everything. So $532.77 plus the $67.23 gives me an even $600, which is where we wanted to max out our home maintenance. And this, for me, home maintenance and my husband, is not like replacing an appliance or having things like that. It's just, this is just the service call kind of part of it. Like if I called a plumber and they came out and they fixed something and it cost me $350, I have this, then I can start rebuilding it again. Just to reach that $600. So this is, and we haven't needed anything. The house we bought in 2022, this house is our forever home, and it's immaculate. The maintenance that was kept up on this was amazing. So I was very grateful we got this house. So Orkin spray, that's just our Orkin service. That's $47 every month, and quarterly that somebody comes out and sprays. Okay, CKY landfill. This is obviously our trash. I do $30 a month here. And then at quarterly, I will get a little statement because I have it auto drafted to our credit card. And all I got to do is pay out this account to the credit card. And it fluctuates depending on how much gas that they use for the pickup service and stuff like that. So those vehicles take a lot of fuel. Southern States propane. Forgot to put that in there. I do $20 a month. This is a propane tank I have outside my fireplace in my home. We have an insert and it's a propane fireplace. So I always make sure I have $240 by November. And because propane prices can fluctuate and the amount of usage I get out of the fireplace can fluctuate over the winter. So instead of running our heater all the time, I just turn on the fireplace and it heats up the whole main living space really, really well. And the upstairs, and we're good to go. So it kind of offsets the cost of electricity there for us. We do not have natural gas for heat, so we just have electricity. Kentucky County tags and taxes, that's where... for our vehicles, let's see, what is the amount here? $13.50. So I based this number off of what we paid last year. And I don't remember when our tags are due. We have 2 vehicles. They're both over 10 years old. So we'll see how much it's going to be this year, but I'm just going to keep funding it. I think what I did is I took what we paid last year and divided it out, and what we had left over from when we moved from Virginia, I still had vehicle property tax and some left over. So it gave me a really low number here. So hopefully that continues. Xander identity theft, that is $12 I put away. It's a few dollars cheaper if I can pay it annually instead of every month. And it doesn't feel as weighty in my bills because I'm not paying that same bill every month, even though I'm transferring $12 every month into savings. So, but I still save a few more dollars doing it this way. Norton, that is my husband's thing for his laptop, $5.33. When I paid it this last year, it still had change left over, so I just left it in there. Birthday, Christmas, I do $100. So the goal is to have $1,200 by the end of the year, but midway through the year, I have a son born in June, so I do buy his birthday gifts out of that. And then I have another son who was born in December, day before Christmas, and so I have to have a lot of this saved up for the end of the year for Christmas and all of that. And typically birthday, Christmas revolves completely around my son. So it's not, that's what that is about. And, yeah, It's a lot of money, but we love spoiling them. Cell phone tech. Let's see here. We had $105.81. I add $50. Now I get the choice of changing what I use a category for, and I did that. I had it up to $500, and I used it for something important. I didn't discuss on the channel, but it was something that was important, so I just pulled from there because I wasn't needing the cell phone tech right away. It was fine. So I'm going to add another $50 there. Activity funds, $50 here. Hopefully a day trip here soon in the spring for like a zoo or aquarium or something like that. Canva's almost due in, I think it's due in April, so I'm going to do $10 here and then $10 in April, and that'll cover the $120 for the year. It's like $119 and some change, so we'll see. Epidemic sound is $12. That's the music in my intros. And I actually just enjoy listening to music that's on there. We did get a small amount of dividends. Now this is like a regular checking account. Doesn't really give you a lot of dividends, but it's 34 cents. And I just want to account for it, so when I look at the savings account and see the number, it matches what I have on here. So I know exactly how much is on here. And then I'll put a sticky note here on how much is actually what we are going to be transferring into the sinking funds. So let's do the number really quick here and figure out how much. I'm going to total this up and I'll be right back. All right, I have a total of $444.24. Now if I take this 34 back out, I transfer $443.90 there. So that's a note to myself to remind me, hey, make sure you transfer $443.90. I averaged anywhere from $350 to $450 a month going into my sinking funds to maintain all these different categories and make sure they're fully funded throughout the year. It revolves, so it just keeps going. I don't really, there's no stuffing and unstuffing or whatever it is that a lot of other people do, and they may pause and fund up one more than the other. I just make sure I know what 12 months looks like, and that's what I fund. But I have the flexibility to do that. Not everybody does. So this is kind of really important for me to keep track of. If I had to come back, it would be funds like Christmas, birthday, cell phone, activities fund. I could always stop the Canva or Epidemic Sound if I needed to. And the rest of them are bills. So there's this section down here is more than likely part of the section that is more flexible. If I needed to save money, I could not pay into some of these. But these up here I have to because there's a bill due coming. And you want to make sure you have the money for that bill once it comes in once a year. So that is my sinking funds for March of 2024. And again, I don't really think I'm going to have anything come out. So I will fill in the endings, and at the end of the month, I'll show you what that looks like. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
As a young girl, it feels we're mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and